All right. Good, good, good. Okay, thanks guys for being here today. I hope this is going to be a good session. So I'm going to start with a recap. By the way, the recap is going to be a little long because we have a lot. But I want to make sure that I'm hitting those so people remember what happened the last few times and remember why we're here to start with. And then from there, we're going to do our roles to see how the session is going to go, and we'll take it from where we left it last time. Wonderful. All right. So the party was hired by a dwarf named Gundren Rockseeker to deliver merchandise from the small town of Falkrest to the village of Fandolin. Gundren set out ahead of the group on horse, along with a warrior escort named Ernst Hallwinter, claiming they needed to arrive early and take care of business. On their way to Fandolin, the adventurers learned that Gundren was ambushed by goblins from the Kragma tribe, so they set after them to free their patrons. The party ventured in the Kragma lair and slew many goblins, finding and freeing a heavily injured Ernest from his captors. Unfortunately, Gundren was moved from this location to the Kragma castle a day prior. Ernst believes that the goblins are in league with an individual they refer to as the Silent Spider. And it seems that this individual is after Wave Echo Cave, a wondrous lost mine in the region. It is said that Wave Echo Cave holds the Forja spells. The group decided to stop at Fandolin, where they would deliver the merchandise, rest, and reassess their options. During their stay at the village, the party got in trouble with a group of bullies and bandits called the Red Brands. After a couple of deadly clashes, the party confronted the thugs and got rid of them. It seems that the bandits were also in league with the Silent Spider. Ernest and the party planned to free Gundren from his captor at Kragma Castle. They decided to spend the next 3 days gathering information and allies to take down the Goblinoid. They agreed to take action on the 4th day. The group spent the first day replenishing their supplies, talking to the notable individuals in Fandolin, and decided to take on a couple of requests. On the 2nd day, the party journeyed to investigate Old Owl Well, as prospectors were wary of the undead presence there. On their way, the group stopped at Conybury to carry out a request from Sister Garael, a priestess of the Lady. Sol ventured alone in a decrepit house among the thick trees and was surprised by an elven, ghostly figure named Agatha. She was initially unwelcoming. However, when Sol gave her back her old comb, she was willing to answer his questions. Afterwards, the group continued their march and arrived at Old Owlwell, a lonely, ruined tower at the top of a cliff. They found a red tent in the middle of the tower's courtyard, noticing someone's movements inside of it. As they carefully got closer, 3 skeletons rose out of the ground, standing between the characters and the tent. And that's where we left the game last session. All right, so let's go ahead and do our first roll, and we'll start the session. Ooh. That was all right. Best roll is Eiley. Worst roll was me with a 1, so that should be an interesting session. I'm going to just put my alarm for. Give me a second. I'm trying to do the alarm here. So that at 10:45 or 10:30 we take a break. All right, sounds good. Cool. So I'm assuming you guys are able to see the map, right?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So I think at the end of last session, I said we are going to do initiative. So please go ahead and roll your initiative as I showed you. Let's see how this is going to go. So control this guy. So initiative. Initiative. Okay. Descending. All right. So The skeleton that is standing right here, as I'm pinging, can you see?
Yes.
Yeah.
That skeleton is the one that goes first.
Okay.
And the first thing that I need to do is I need you, all of you. So let's see. Okay, so all of you, please make a courage roll, and then tell me what your total is. Okay, so sorry, what?
Soul, my total is 28.
19 for me, Guardian.
Okay, mine is 9 plus
31.
Okay, Ubas, how much did you say?
28 total.
Okay, Jessica?
22.
22, okay. Galian?
19.
And Usama?
31.
Okay, so Jessica, a reroll, please.
Oh boy, I'm scared.
Oh, you're not alone. Okay, so as those creatures came out of the ground and stood in front of you, Gallian and well, I'm gonna start with Gallian. Gallian, you feel that earlier when you were talking about the dead, not earlier, a couple of days ago when you were talking about the dead and your aversion to desecrating the dead,
Yeah.
now you have the dead stand in front of you, and you have a very uneasy feeling about yourself. You don't know if you really want to go ahead and do this. Your body is hesitating a lot. So you are afraid, but like what that translates to is you're going to have a 1d6 penalty against that creature.
Okay, so I rolled the d6, right?
I already rolled it.
Oh,
You have a
already-
1 point penalty against
Okay.
that creature. So it's not something big, but it's that's please make sure to know that's -1 pretty much in your rolls, etc.
Yeah.
And for you, Eiley, pretty much this reminds you of a very bad experience that you've had when you went in a specific ruin and explored it, and you get the feeling that these could potentially be the souls or the remains of those people that were in that ruin. And you also have a -1 against the skeletons. Okay, so that's that. And the skeletons, what they do is this one moves here in between Eiley and Gallian.
Okay.
And then it attacks. So I'm going to roll a d20 just to determine who I'm going to attack. If it does 1 to 10, it's Eiley. 11 to 20, it's Gallian. So I'm going to attack Gallian. Okay, so that undead gets next to you, Gallian. It is armed with a rusty sword. It raises it and it tries to slash at you, and it rolls. Total of 30.
Okay. Well, try to parry.
Okay, sounds good. Please go ahead and do your parry roll.
I miss.
Okay.
20.
Gotcha. So you try to block it. You're still hesitating. Your movement is slightly late as you get hit, and you take 7 physical damage.
Okay.
It hits you with its sword, and you notice it's not making much of a noise. It's not growling or anything like that. The only sounds that you're hearing is obviously the rusty sword hitting your armor and the sound of the bone moving. Exit line is Eileen. What do you do?
I'm nervous, so I want to send Aya to distract him. But I'm also afraid to send Aya to distract him.
Okay,
I want
sounds
to
good.
protect her.
So how do you what's the stats that need to be rolled? It's your courage against my what?
It is my courage against your cool.
My cool. Okay. So please go ahead and roll your courage, and I'm gonna check what my cool is. My cool is. Okay. So I'm rolling. I rolled a 5, 20. So my total is 20. What's your total?
I'm assuming I'm -1 for courage, and then so it's 30.
Okay, so you're successful. You whistle and point your finger at that skeleton. Aya flies in and starts, attacking it. The skeleton, like raises its face towards the owl and is a little distracted right now. That was your bonus action. What do you want to do other than that?
I think I'm gonna back up. Just one.
Okay. You want to back up close to Soul?
Yep.
All right. As you do that, the skeleton does an opportunity attack because you're in melee with him.
Okay.
Against you. So he's going to attack you, and his total is 17.
Okay, I'm going to dodge. So 26.
Okay. So as you're trying to move away, he thrusts his sword, but you're able to gracefully avoid it. You still have an action, just so you know.
I'm done. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you're done. Okay, sounds good. Next is the skeleton that's right above Galleon. Okay, so this skeleton moves, like he shambles towards you, Galleon. As it gets in melee combat, it tries to stab you with its sword. So we're going to do another melee attack, and this one, his total is going to be increased by 1. So it's 25.
I don't have the -1 for this one. It's just
No, you have -1 against undead. Yeah,
okay,
pretty much in this combat.
So 30, yeah.
All right, good. So you're able to block his thrust with your hammer, avoiding taking any damage. That ends his turn. Faye.
I'd like to move to the well here.
Okay, make a perception roll.
Okay.
So you're gonna make a perception roll against. Let's see. All right, let me roll this. What's your total?
32.
Okay, so as you stand next to the wall, you actually see hanging on the wall a skeleton.
You mean like holding on?
Yeah, inside the wall, but holding on the ledge.
Okay. I unsheath and
Which sword do you unsheath?
Let's play with the frost sword. I unsheath the frost sword.
There is no frost sword.
Well, yeah, I mean it's just to make the difference between the two. The teal.
Yeah.
Teal sword.
Sure. Okay, so you unsheath the teal sword, and then what do you do? That's your bonus action. That's your movement.
Can I do? I want to inspect the well. I want to determine if this well is playing a part in. I mean, it's called Old Owl Well, so I'm trying. I want to understand if there's.
That would be your action.
Yeah, that's fine. I want to understand if there is magic associated with it. How specific do I need to get?
Are you trying to sense if there is magic in there?
I want to try to determine if there is a correlation. Yes, I want to sense if there's magic in the well. Let's start there.
Okay. So you got to make a magic test then.
Magic lore. Oh, magic. Okay.
No,
That's
magic.
cool.
Magic. Not magic lore. Magic test.
Yeah.
And the stat called magic. Please go ahead and do it. Tell me what your total is.
Uh, 25.
Okay. So you look into the well, and as you're trying to sense if there is any magic, the figure, the shambling figure of the skeleton hanging onto the well is actually worrying you, clouding your judgment, and you're not able to really determine if there is any magical energy inside of the well. So that closes your turn, and then we move to you, Gallium.
Okay. I attack this guy here on my
Sounds good.
left.
All right.
So where is my attack button? Attack up. 19.
And, the total is 19?
Yeah.
With the -1?
Yeah.
Okay, so you try to hit him with your hammer, but he's able to avoid it. You're noticing you're being a little bit too rush. You're trying to go fast and finish this fast. Okay, and then what do?
I attack the one in front.
With the seasoned fighter, so please go ahead, roll with the disadvantage.
So once. Well, I should have rolled twice. Sorry. Well, I rolled the one.
Okay, so on this one, the first one avoided you. You go on the second one. The second one is also able to avoid you, and you make a very, very, very wide swing, and you're unable to catch him. It's
go back.
it's that whole dead people thing that's not getting your mojo going. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's 50% chance. All right, same thing. 1 to 10 is Jessica. Well, Gallian, I think they love you. So this guy, that skeleton, gets in melee combat with you, and then he tries to hack at you with his sword.
Oh well.
Unfortunately, that hits.
It hits.
So he hacks with his sword towards you. You're trying to block it. You're unable to do so. You take another 7 damage. Make sure those are 2 hits, so make sure to take out 2 in your armor. And I'm assuming who's next? Next is probably going to be Sol, I would think.
Yeah, I'm the last one of the round. So.
Okay, Mr. Sol, what do you do?
So as I see Gallian getting ganked up, and I see that Heidi backed away with a bit of frightness in her eye, I advance 2 squares up, and I yell, using my soul battle cry, "Stand strong, team! We've faced many hordes of the Red Brands! These skeletons ain't shit for us!" And I just do.
Okay, sounds good. Please go ahead and do your roll.
It's against GM factor. So.
Yeah. The factor is going to be a 10. What's your total?
My total is 33.
Okay, so you're successful. Everybody around Sol, as he screamed that, you get more confident. You know that you're going to be able to beat this. And actually, so unfortunately, they're not under the frightened status.
Okay.
Yeah, the frightened status is different. So it's a good try, though.
Thanks.
But the rest of the team, well, including you, Bas, you all gain +2 to all combat attribute and +2 to protection.
Yeah, and as my bonus action, I unsheath my sword, and that's the end.
Sure, and that goes until when? Until the end of what round?
It's at the end of the next turn.
Of the next turn, okay. Oh, the next round or next turn?
Next round, sorry, next round.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So as that finishes, right? So that's the end of this of the round. Let's see. You see another shambling corpse come from across the wall next to the tent. It comes this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It moves that way, and then you see. Let's see. Usama, the corpse next to you, the undead next to you, moves out of the well, and he's now just next to you in melee combat. You also notice another corpse by the tree, the lonely tree, that comes out, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see another one. So by the tree that you just looked at, there is another corpse that comes out, and it comes from behind a broken wall, and it moves towards you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And last but not least, straight ahead where you see the tower, you see 2 corpses emerge from the tower. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, and then this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're seeing way more skeletons making moves towards you, and as this happens, there is a man that comes out also of the tent. There's a man that comes out of the tent. So that man, he's a tall, slender young man with black hair, wearing a long black robe, a cotton robe. His robe has these darker patterns that look like butterflies. And he has a long scarf around him. He's holding on to 2 books, and he has these small little glasses pretty much in front of his on his nose. And as he comes out, he says, "What is the meaning of this?" If you have common lore,
Yep.
religion, magic lore, you can make rolls. No bonus, no penalty.
All right.
Ooh, I missed.
Okay.
So did I.
Oh, me too. What the fuck? I have 60%. God damn it.
That's fine. So anyway, the man comes out and says, "What is the meaning of this?" Does anybody want to respond?
Are the skeletons standing down?
What's that?
Are the skeletons standing down? Are they attacking?
You are, as that was the end of the turn. So all of you got hit, and then he came out as the combat took place and said that. So you don't really know if they're standing down or not.
All right. Yeah, if nobody wants to talk, I'll say, "What's your name, stranger?"
He looks at you there for a second, and then raises his hand, and you see all the skeletons, they were in combat posture. They just stop and straighten up. And he says, "Well, if you come here raising your weapons, you have to tell me. Courtesy says that you have to tell me who you are first.
My name is Sol, and this is, and I point to Galleon next to me. Galleon, the one on the back is Ailey, and right over there, that's Faye. We're being tasked to investigate this area with rumors of undead, and as we can see, and I point to the undead that's not moving, that seems to match what the people, who tasked us to do the task are talking about. And then we got attacked.
Make a persuasion roll.
Yeah, sure. Persuasion. Persuasion, that's a stat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, persuasion, yeah, I got it. So. My total is 23.
Okay, so as you finish those sentences, he looks at you and says, well, I understand that these could be true, but I am not sure if you are being truthful or not, especially seeing 4 people brandishing their weapons inside of this ruin.
Well, you would be if you were meeting with undeads who wouldn't draw their swords.
He points at you, Galleon, and says, "Small man is smart. However, did undeads come after you?"
They did. With all due respect, they attacked her.
Actually, did.
Did you enter this ruin?
Well, the ruin is a ruin. We cannot guess that the ruin is inhabited by a necromancer.
But
or
you can
what
guess
you are.
that there is a tent in here and that there is
Well,
a person in here. Did
well,
the
the
person
tent
come
is
after you?
in- The tent is inside the ruin, so by the
But
time
what if you are robbers coming to steal from whoever lives in this tent? Wouldn't this be part of the realm of possibility, my dear smart
And I say,
short man?
and I interrupt and I say, no, Galleon, and sir, what's your name? Now that we've presented ourselves,
My name is Lin Chao.
Lin Chao, you seem to be a very reasonable person, and I just sheath my sword. I'm like, can we just talk about this, because I think we got off on the wrong foot.
Because you sheath your sword, he says, sure, but I will need your friend also to sheath their weapons.
I look at Galleon like, come on, man.
I didn't want to hit dead people anyway. and I shit my weapon.
Okay, Ailey, are you still holding and trying to aim to shoot people?
I'll put my bow back, but I've got my backpack right here on my shoulder too.
Usama, what about you?
I'll shoot my sword.
And he, as he sees what you guys do, he says, very well. And then the skeletons start moving back to where they were. So they all start slowly walking to where they were. Okay, so as they go back to where they all were, some of them pretty much re-enter the ground. Excuse me. And he stands next to you in the courtyard and says, okay, so what do you want?
Well, to be honest with you, we were just asked to investigate if there were some random undead terrorizing the area in the ruin, as per some reports. But it seems that you're controlling them. Do you know? I mean, has there been like some people attacking you? Were you attacking, terrorizing people? What's going on here, basically?
Okay. Make the team make a magic test.
Oh, okay.
Everybody, you can make a magic test. And tell me what your total score is.
Oof, my total is 17.
Did our minus ones go away?
You don't have -1 against him.
Okay.
You have it against undead.
Does the soul battle cry apply to magic?
No, Soul Battle Cry is done. You're not in combat anymore.
Yep.
I got a natural one.
Yeah, you get your what's her name, Aya, and you start petting her. Oh, who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? That's what you do. Okay, so Ubas, what's your total? 17.
17, I said. Yeah.
Galian, what's your total?
29.
And Osama, 29. You too.
29. Yep.
Okay, so the two of you are 29, and then what did I roll? Okay, so the two of you, as you are looking at him, you notice that the scarf he is wearing, it has these inscriptions on them in a language that you do not know. But Gallian, for you, this reminded you've seen some people coming from humans coming from very, very far away land to the east, and they wore scarves. And you remember that those people that wore those scarves, they actually, the ones that wear scarves are actually mages. And depending on the pattern in the scarf, it says the school of magic, but you don't know what kind of magic it is.
Okay.
And for you, Usama, what you know because of your magic experience and your magic lore, etc., you do know that in this very far away human realm to the east, there is a school of mages in there that wear the black scarf and have similar patterns as his scarf. And those are definitely dealing with, based on what you know, they're definitely dealing with some form of what you would consider as black magic.
Question for GM.
Sure.
There's a difference between chaos and black magic?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that was one thing. Did you guys wanted to ask me a question?
Yeah. So you're a mage, right?
No.
He looks at you. He says, "Very perceptive. Yes, I am."
And you seem very far from your people. What are you doing in this part of town? Of land?
He looks at you for a little bit, piercing you with his eyes. But his demeanor is still like he's very calm, but like his eyes, like you feel like they're piercing through you. And then he turns around and looks at the tower, and he says, "I came here for this." And he points at the tower.
This rune. What is it about?
Well,
why?
This, he says, this tower used to hold powerful necromantic abilities.
Oh.
I came here to investigate and to gather information. Knowledge is power, he says as he looks at you, back at you. He says, and I need to increase my knowledge
Well,
to evolve and become a more powerful mage.
well, knowledge is power if you know how to use the knowledge. If you don't know, it's just knowledge, just words. But anyway, we digress.
You digress.
Yeah,
but
I do.
understand. Knowledge has to be used carefully. And that is why I'm here.
All right.
I'm going to kind of snap into reality and be like, would you let a stupid, ignorant wood elf just touch that wall?
Which wall?
You mean tower, right?
Yeah, the tower wall.
The tower wall. He says, suit yourself, wood elf.
I have no idea what I'm going to get out of this, but...
I don't know.
So as you move there to try to touch it, anybody wants to do anything else before she
Yeah,
touches it?
I did ask him a question before you did the roll of magic.
Sorry, Lubas, I didn't catch that. Can you repeat the question to me, the game master?
Oh, the game master. I said like I told Link like that we like the reason why we're investigating here is because of some reports that undeads are like terrorizing this area. Was there, and I asked him if there's any scuffle that happened here with people like who came around this ruin to report such behavior.
He says, "Well, that is very interesting question. On my way here, I had to go through the Orcish territory. And once I passed that and I got to the human realm, or they call Kingdom Destroyed, I am sorry, translation is a little difficult. He says, when I got here, I was on trail when I was attacked by goblins.
Mhm.
So, goblins are no more. But then I got here, and as I was inspecting, I saw these orcs that had their eyes on my tent. They came closer, so that is why I set up my undead, my skeletons. It is all a trap. Once you pass this, and then he points to the wall, to this wall more specifically. Do you
Okay.
see it where I'm pinging?
Mhm.
And once you pass this, it triggers an alarm, and the undead wake up.
Game Master, this is open play, right?
Yeah.
So I can move around.
Yeah, sure. I mean, except if he feels like you're threatening, then I'll stop you. I'll tell you, hey, go back to this position. We need to talk, or whatever.
So I'd like to move. Okay.
Yeah, you can move your character. That's fine. You don't have to tell me. Just move your character, and then if I deem it unnecessary, I'll stop you.
I'd like to present myself, in my best light.
By the way, I shared with you guys what he looks like, right?
Yes, he's a handsome fella. You're quite a handsome fella.
Okay, so you come as you walk closer. There's, like I would assume, Eiley got to the walls. So you're in front of these half-broken walls. What do you do, Jessica?
I'm just going to, with the arm that has the backpack, just reach out and touch the wall and see if I can perceive anything.
Okay, so are you trying to perceive, or are you trying to sense magic?
I don't know how to sense magic. I'm just
sense magic. Everybody can do that with their magic ability.
Oh, I can? Okay, then I'll try that.
Okay, so please go ahead, roll your magic and tell me what your total is.
Oh, it's 22. Yeah.
Okay, it's 22. So you're putting your hands on the wall, and you could feel that, as you close your eyes and you try to focus, concentrate, and try to feel the waves of the ether, you could feel that there was some magic in here, but it has been taken out. But there is like faint feelings of magic in there, and then for a second, it's something similar that you've seen, that you felt in an old ruin that you may or may not have explored in the past.
I feel trouble coming on. I want to get in there.
Do you say that out loud, or do you want to
I'm going to whisper it to
whisper to yourself? Mm-hmm. And as you say that, Aya flies by. Hoot, 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 hoot. She's agreeing, with that. Exactly. All right. So you said you want to get inside, Jess? Okay. Okay. So you're gonna head inside, and then the rest of the team. Okay. So you are in front of Lynn. What do you do?
Master Lin, it occurs to me that you're seeking knowledge. Is that the right understanding?
Yes, friend, I am seeking knowledge. There is too much to learn, especially in our art. And this, and he points at the tower, he says, this is a good start.
Hmm. And yeah, sorry. Go
I
ahead.
I couldn't agree more. I definitely sense some ancient, powerful magic over here, and you came a long way. And it's not every day that I encounter or that our group encounters a knowledgeable person of black magic. That being said, you've suffered from the goblins, so did we. You've trifled with the orcs. We had to dispatch a band of bandits in a nearby town. And with your quest of magic, I may have an offer to make you.
Go ahead.
You see, as my friend Sol here mentioned, we were merely investigating the area based on reports from prospectors seeing undead people. Clearly, you don't seem to be a threat in the sense of an aggressive person. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation and we would be fighting you off or fighting your skeletons. Therefore, I trust your quest for knowledge, and we are ourselves on a major quest for such knowledge, seeking a place called Wave Echo Cave, which is rumored to hold the Forge of all. Oh, I'm gonna get this right.
The Forge of Spells.
The Forge of Spells, and I am wondering if we could maybe find in you a new companion on our endeavor. You see, we can't easily go there because, and I tell him the story. We are trying to rescue.
So you tell him, hold on, you tell him the story about Gundren. Do you tell him about the
story that we can't go recover the map to get to the Waveco cave because we're outpowered and we need more help, and we are not strong enough as it is, that our small band, and we're seeking help, and that it might be worth his time to consider if he's done here in the Old Owl Well with his research, to join us on that quest.
he thinks for a little bit, you know, looking straight ahead at the walls, at these walls, and then after thinking for a little bit, you know, there is a little bit of silence in that time, you know, awkward silence. But then he looks back at you and he says, "I am not sure I am interested in Forge of Spell, but I am interested. I may have 2 tasks for you. In exchange, I will help you with what you need."
Pray tell, what are the tasks that you would want us to complete?
1, the orcs. I would prefer if they stop coming. Not that I cannot handle them. I think the skeletons you have encountered will not be enough to hold them. Therefore, I will have to use more of my power, but that would make me very, very tired and vulnerable. And I do not wish to do that. I do not wish to call upon greater spirits for such a task. Second, he says, I hear there is an old ghostly figure that lives in the forest. I would like to ask a question to the ghostly figure. If you can ask the question of who built this tower and report back.
Okay, so
And we have a deal.
I look at him and I'm like, are you talking about a certain ancient apparition?
I am not sure what it is, man or woman. but I know there is a ghostly figure I could sense. He looks at the horizon towards where Coneybury is, and he says I can sense very strong necrotic power coming from there.
Okay.
Am I hearing him where I am? Can I hear him?
Sure.
Do you want to say something, ID? Or that's why you asked, or?
I just wanted to know if I can hear what he's saying.
So I look at Lynn and I'm like, if you're talking about, and I roughly, because it's hard to point, the area, and I'm like, on our way here, we had a task to talk to that ghostly figure, which I think you are sensing. Her name is actually called Lady Agatha. She is an ancient apparition, which one of the tasks was to go and talk to her, and I did that. But the problem with her is that she is very, very, not, what's the word I'm looking for? Not aggressive, but like she's very hostile, yeah. So she's very hostile to people who bother her slumber or her peace, and will only answer a question if you give her something precious. And in this case, I had to give her something that was given to me, which is one of her brush, what's it called? Comb. Jewel silver comb that brought back some memories. That's why I actually am alive in front of you, because I'm pretty sure she would have killed me right there and there if it wasn't for that. So my problem with this task is that as a mage, when I'm talking to you, do you have an idea how we can make it happen without such a tool?
The ghostly spirits oftentimes are here for a reason. They do not pass on to the other realm because of a specific reason. Maybe asking what the reason is and trying to help, maybe that would give you what you want.
Yeah.
But I do not know the nature of this creature. And as I told you, I am still doing research here. So,
I'm going to take a deep breath and just close my eyes and say, I'll do it. I'll go.
he says, brave elf. Sure. Then we have a deal. Come back to see me when you finish the 2 requests. In the meantime, if you want to take, and he points to these areas, this one and this one. He says, if you want to take these to rest, you are welcome. There is not much. I mean, it's all rubbles and ruins, but he says at least you are within the tower.
Okay.
Tower vicinity.
So, Game Master, because I'm just taking notes. So task 1 is to get rid of the orcs, but as far as the location go, we still don't know where he means exactly. Does it like have to do with the wyvern thorn? Not necessarily, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you asked him or...
No, we don't know. I'm just taking notes so that I don't speculate. So
yeah.
we don't know that yet. And the task 2, it's about the secret of the tower. That's literally the question.
No, who built the tower?
Who built the tower?
Okay. All right. Cool. Thanks. Anybody else wants to ask something before we hog the time? No? Okay, and then I'll just ask. I'm like, Mr. Lin, Linzao. As far as the location of the orcs, we were already tasked to go and also get rid of the orcs near the wyvern thorn, which I'm not. Since you're not from this area, I don't think you know what I mean, or do you?
I am not sure. The orcs are gray-skinned. They wore leather armors, had weapons. I sent one of my skeletons to follow them. And then he tells you that there is a tor down south with these big mountains. And he says they went around that area.
Oh. And we roughly know the location of that now.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a good deal. And how long have you been here, if that's not too obtrusive? Like obtrusive, sorry.
It has been over a week.
Oh, it's not really that long. Okay, I see. And is that like what you... And how did you hear of the tower, by the way? Since you're coming from that far.
Well, we have a lot of records of major points of interest within the world, and I choose to come to this one.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Well, let's
Okay.
go. We start with the
So
orcs.
he moves back to the tent. All right, what do you? So you guys are together. Well, you guys can go ahead and discuss if you want to discuss or do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if Agatha's location was like half a day, right, from where we are?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
That's-
it's shorter. It's much shorter.
Much
It's
shorter.
not very far. So let's swing by there to
Yeah.
go with Iron.
But it's the other way compared to like the
orcs.
orcs.
Yeah.
Maybe we can deal with the orcs first and come back to Agatha then
Sure.
later, because in any case, as you said, we need something of value. Maybe we'll find something of value with the orcs to offer
Yeah.
as a...
Yeah, give me some time to figure out what I'm gonna do when I get there.
Sure. Yeah. So let's do the orcs then. So,
Mm.
Faye, is that okay with you?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So, hold on a second here. Let me just do this. So with that, you guys leave Old Owlwell, and you head further south. So I'm gonna move you guys back to this. So you were at Old Owlwell, which is this spot right here. Now you're moving further south. You could see as you're heading there, you could see the long mountains, the high mountains. It is about 5 p.m. when you start heading there, and you could see up at the horizon. As I said today, you didn't have much sun. It was very cloudy,
Mhm.
and then as you guys reach the mountains, it's about 6 p.m. The mountain is pretty large, and there are a set of mountains in there. So I'm assuming you're gonna start researching and looking where they are, right?
Yeah, look for traces or...
How do you do that?
Hold on. I wanna eat first.
Yeah, I was
before-
gonna say it's 6 p.m. We should eat at least on the way.
Well, no, you're gonna break for food. So you stop and you get your food. Whoever wants to eat, please go ahead, take out a ration or whatever you need to do. And you can make your rolls. If you're eating food, make a roll and add the points. And then let me know when you're ready.
Where is it?
And Yubas, did you make sure that you took out the points for your
Yes.
ability that you used? Okay, good.
Yeah. If you
just
look
double
at my energy, it's like -20.
check. Yeah, I was just double checking.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys stop. You break for food. You start eating a little bit. You take a little break. Do you want to say anything before you keep venturing?
Does anyone has a torch, because it's gonna be dark soon?
I do, and I could lead the way with a torch, unless our elven friends here have an objection to it.
I was going to ask if you guys wanted me to try to do some tracking.
Yeah, you can do that, but I can't see in the dark, so I need a torch.
Up to me.
I look at Galleon and say, see, we do see in the dark, so we have no reason to buy torches. And I smile at you.
Okay. Well, if we don't want to be spotted by the orcs, yeah, I guess it makes sense.
And I agree with you, Eiley. Maybe we should both put our talents to try to find out if we can pick up a trail.
Right, and then once we figure that out, then we can discuss with the humans and the dwarf how to get there with minimal visibility.
Well, that's not how it's going to happen, Jess. If you're tracking and you're doing a roll for tracking, you're actually moving and following the tracks.
So you can't go back?
Oh, aren't you going to take them with you? Oh, you're going to leave them here and go track and then come back? Is that what you were going to do?
Up to you guys. I'm just making out a suggestion. Okay.
No, we follow you, but once we spot the orcs, I guess they will have fire or something, so we will be able to see them. But in the meantime, we will follow you closely.
Yes.
So to not get lost, you know.
Okay, sounds good. So you have if you're gonna combine your efforts, here's what could be done. It's either each one of you roll on their own, either Usama and Jessica, you roll on your own, or it's one roll, but it's your highest stat plus. So if your highest is 60 and the second one is 50, so it's gonna be 65, and it's one roll. You understand? What's your percentage, Usama? What's your percentage?
45, I believe.
45. Jessica, what's your percentage for tracking?
50.
50. Okay, so you can make one roll with 54. Or you can make two rolls, one with 50 and one with 45. I don't care.
Jess, I think two rolls.
Okay.
It's not that big difference, in terms of points. I think two rolls is worth better than like 5 more points. What do you think?
I'm fine with that. So 2 rolls is one from you and one from me, or okay.
Yeah, Jessica, you make a roll and he makes a roll and tell me if it's lower or equal to your total.
So 54 is our total?
No, 50 is your total because you're making 2 rolls, each one individual. You're not combining effort.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, you miss, and Osama, you missed 2. So you took about an hour. So it's about. So you took half an hour to eat. That's 6:30. Now it's 7:30. So you spent about an hour looking. You didn't see any tracks. Now what you could do is you could actually just search, and it's going to be a perception roll.
Question, Game Master. Well, actually, no question to Game Master. First, I'm gonna ask the group. Hey guys, do you guys know anything about orcs? Does anybody here knows anything about orcs and whether they're, night creature, day creature?
I have common lore. I don't know if I can use that.
More fragile at night, more fragile during the day.
You can make common lore. You best you already used your monster lore, and I think if I recall, you failed. So,
Yes.
That's. You cannot re-roll it. Galleon, you can. Okay, so that's okay.
Does magic lore work, Game Master?
No.
No. Okay. And academic knowledge? I don't even know.
Sure, it works. Academic knowledge can work.
I see. Oh yeah, I do actually. Okay, I want to try it, and I fail, so it's great.
Yeah, orcs are orcs. They're very much orcs.
Yeah. Orcs are orcs. Okay, so perception. You want to do perception, and we can try to figure out if we can find.
So who's doing the perception?
Can we all
Jessica?
do it?
Each one individually?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you have again a choice. You can each one individually do it, or we could make the highest one in the team roll with advantage.
I want to try the latter, but it's up to you guys.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jess, you get to roll with advantage. So roll 2d20. I would assume that you are the highest perception in the group.
So.
I'm not sure. I think so.
Yes.
Okay, what's your total, Zubas? What's your total in perception?
I think I have like something like 12. Yeah,
Okay,
12.
Galleon, what's your perception?
14.
Usama?
13, 1-3.
1-3, and oh yeah, Jessica has I think 18, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll with advantage, and then I'm gonna roll. So you're gonna spend the next hour.
17.
Okay, what's your total?
34.
35.
35.
Yeah.
Okay.
18, yeah.
All right. Well, good. Good. That was a good one because it was hard. It was a hard roll, just so you know. So you spend about an hour of. So it's about 8:30. Spent about an hour moving around these tall mountains. Like we're talking Mount Hood, tall mountains, and you're at the bottom of the mountain, like circling around. So that takes a long time to go around this terrain. And as you you keep looking, you keep searching, there is a faint smell of smoke that hangs on the air as you're ascending a rugged ridge on the lower slopes of the hill. And about 50 meters away from you, you could see a cave mouth that opens up at the bottom of a ravine. And hunkered down by a boulder that's 20 meters outside the cave, keeping watch, you could see a single orc and next to a fire. And I'm gonna move you to that area. So let's go to Wyvern Tour. Here it is. Okay, I'm dropping your character. I'm gonna be dropping your characters, and then please you can readjust them. You can readjust them. Can you see the map?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you see the map, the orc is around here. You could see him. He's by this big rock.
He looks ugly.
Yeah, and he's by a fire, a low campfire. And this is the cave mouth right here. All right, so you guys, please. I'm assuming that's how you. Not moving your characters. You're just staying there.
I whisper to Galleon, just trust me, just go straight, just close your eyes and just walk.
It's already like my eyes are closed, so.
The fire that next to the orc, that how much does it illuminate, so to say, roughly? We don't have to be like super arithmetic.
I would say there is. It's 10 meters of bright light and 20 meters of dim light.
Got it.
So 30 meters total.
Okay. So 5, 6. Okay, so it's like most of the area can be seen. Okay. Yeah.
Is it night yet?
It is night. It's 8:30 p.m.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So what do you guys decide to do? He doesn't seem to have seen you. He's sitting by the fire. From time to time, he starts gazing out towards the road.
I look at the group and I say, should I go scout and see what else is going on around there?
I look at Galen and I'm like, he means, are you gonna go and yell again and head in and smash people in the head, or can you be patient enough just for one time, let him do his job?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Of course.
Do we want to see if maybe Aya can fly and hoot at us if she sees anything more? If we hear more than one hoot, we'll know there's more.
I like that idea. Thank you for offering that. I think it's a great idea. It's probably natural to see owls fly, so it shouldn't be attracting unnecessary attention. So sure.
So we'll just wait for you here. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna send Aya, and then I'm probably gonna get closer to. Oops. Sorry.
Do you want me to also like spiritually go with her as well, or do you want me to reserve my power for potential fights?
Oh, I didn't want to impose, but do you think that that's a good idea, or do you want to hold on to that?
I don't know. Like, are you planning to send her inside of the cave as well?
No, I just want to get a sense of what's around right now.
Whatever you feel like, I'm open. I mean, but just know that if I invest in this, it's like detracting from,
Okay.
energy on the fight as well.
I mean, I think we won't be able to hear her in the cave, is my fear. So I think just sending her around is a good start. What do you think? Anybody else have an opinion?
Do owls see in the dark?
Yeah.
They
Yes.
do, right? So I can actually see what she sees, right?
Right.
So it might be a good idea to scout the whole thing. I mean, it's up to you. It's your area.
I know. I just don't know how your resources are. So if you want to do that, then that's fine. Then we'll know exactly what's in the cave. And
Yeah. I would love to. I'm okay with that if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I don't mind.
All right.
Just
So I get close to Aya, and I first start with okay. Let me put my macros. Pum, pum, pum. So I first start with biz communication on Aya. So
Okay.
that's like this. I'm just gonna click on Ali. It's the same. Oh wow, it's a 20. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna remove 5 MP. And she's willing, so I don't need to like do any.
Well, you rolled. You're successful.
Okay, so I'm like, hey Aya.
Hello.
So look, we're in a very, very peculiar mission, and I'm gonna go with you inside of the cave in order for us to see approximately with who we're dealing with. I hope you can manage it without being, in a bad
Sounds
position.
good. That sounds good. All right.
And then while still on my head on her, I cast Beast Sense. I have to sit down, right, and do Beast Sense. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So before I do that, I tell the group, while I'm gonna be this, like, I cannot talk and I cannot communicate. I don't know if you've seen this before. So I do that. I roll a 25.
You barely make it.
Oof.
So you're able to close your eyes. You touch Aya. When you open them, you can see through her eyes.
All right.
And it's like, wow, like, especially because it's dark right now,
Yeah.
you're able to see pretty clearly. But in the dark there, you see everything in black and white, pretty much.
Okay.
All right.
Can I ask you something, Ahmed?
Sure.
While I'm in this trance, can I move my hands?
Your character? No.
No, he can't, right? I cannot. I'm immobilized completely. Okay.
No. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay. So what do you guys do?
Well, I'm
Well,
going
we'll wait.
to command to Aya.
Well, I'm talking to whoever is gonna deal with the scouting.
I think we should send Aya and just wait for her to come back.
Okay. So you send Aya. Okay, Aya flies in, and let's see. So as she flies around. She goes very high and tries to scout the area, and you could see clearly that there is another orc stationed around here. You see him?
Yes.
Yeah, that's orc. There is no fire next to him. He is just sitting by the river, like looking at the river. And then after that, like Aya goes around outside just to scout, and she doesn't see any other orc. And then after that, she goes inside the cave, and she sees well, or at least you see, pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see 6 orcs inside. One of them is sleeping. 3 of them are around a fire. They're cooking food. There is another one that's sitting by his bed. This one. He's sitting by his bed and he's just grinding his axe. And then as you get more inside, you could see an orc sitting here looking at some of the supplies. And you see this really big creature, pretty large creature. It's about 3 meters tall. And it's also pretty large. It's sitting on on the ground, and it's eating. Yeah, what probably looks like an arm.
Yeah. So while I'm in trance, I can also not do like a monster lore or something. That's not possible. Either.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then after that, Aya comes back to the group, and I'm gonna again hide all this stuff. I mean, you've seen it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be hiding it. So you, whenever you want, you can.
Yeah.
You can stop your trends.
All right. So I stop my trance.
Good.
And I look, okay, so guys, we're dealing with 2 orcs outside of the cave, and if I remember correctly, 6 orcs that are inside the cave, and 1 big creature that looks like a big orc, which I don't think I've seen before. Can I do monster lore to actually know if I don't know who?
Yeah, now you can do a monster lore,
Yeah.
and just do a monster lore, regular monster lore.
Yeah, completely fair.
It's a large creature. There are many. It could be a giant. It could be an ogre. It could be a cyclop. Like there are a lot of really large creatures.
Yeah. So it's a very large creature that was actually munching on what looks like an arm. So it's a pretty ferocious one to assume. The positioning, and I start drawing on the ground like there is sand, right, on the ground.
Sure.
So I'm like, okay, we're here. The first orc we see is here. There is a guy on parallel to him over here next to the what seems to be like a coast water of the river on the left side. And after we enter inside of the cave generally is enclosed. So unlike the one where we went to the goblins, there is no like from what we've seen anyway, there is no like elevations difference, just like we had like the bridges on top and stuff. It's more like a straightforward the enclosed cave with a fire in the middle, three orcs around the fire, two on the bed, one on the supply, and one of the big one eating. So it's a very close space. That's pretty much the information that we have here.
Okay.
Okay. If
So-
there are 2 outside,
We
I
need to
would,
take them out silently.
yeah, and I would suggest we thin their numbers by taking care of the 2 outside, but they cannot give alarm.
Yeah.
And then so you can guide us inside the cave and if we can use as little of our resources dispatching the 2 that are outside, I think it would be in the interest. Particularly if there's this weird monster you're talking about in there.
Yeah. He's pretty scared.
I look at you at ID and I say, should we combine our forces to take care of this guy?
I think that's a good idea. Like, I can camouflage and we could go towards the guy by the river first.
Or by the guy by the river? Okay.
So Game Master, like, is there like an inherent stealth mechanic that we can use that special like rolls to not make noise, or is it like just depending on
It's
what you skill?
stealth.
It's just
It's
stealth that you
stealth.
have. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So what about Eileen? You and I try to sneak up on one of them, and I look at you, Sol and Galleon, and I said, I'm suggesting Eileen and I because we can see in the dark, right? There's no no reason. And we can, maybe you guys can hide or stay fairly hidden, and Eileen, if we manage to dispatch them, maybe you can send Aya to them, or
I mean, she can talk to me telepathically, so.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, for an hour.
For an hour, okay. I don't think it should take us more than an hour to dispatch these guys. What do you think, Eileen?
Sorry, I don't think so.
I mean, again, I don't know much about orcs, but
right.
I'm confident in our joint skills. So which one do you want to tackle first? Do you want us to try to sneak around and go to the river first, or do you want to try to get this guy first?
I was thinking the river only because the guy by the fire could signal. So if he's last, we would have a better shot getting to the cave faster.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, should we go?
Yeah, I would like to cast my camouflage.
Sure, please go ahead and do that.
It's perception versus difficulty by GM.
Okay, so let me roll the difficulty. Let me see. Oh, well, unless you roll a 1.
I did it. Hey!
You are successful. Okay, so you're successful. You start moving carefully. By the way, you don't have your weapons drawn. You move carefully, you know, like sticking to the ground. You quickly cross this the road, because on the road you're clearly seen. You know, if you stay on the road. Fortunately, you are in the guise of night and of darkness, so that's why you haven't been spotted. But like, you guys quickly move towards the trees. So there are these trees in between you and the guy that earlier you were told is in the river. You can try to go through the trees if you'd like to. Is that what you want to do?
I'm gonna hand gesture to Faye and hope that she understands me. Do you want to go forward or around?
I whisper to you, you're the wood elf. You tell me.
I just want to make sure you can keep up.
Okay. Meanwhile, the two, Ubas and Galen, move your characters where you want to move. Just, you know, do you want to stay on the road or do you want to move somewhere else? Because I'm leaving you on the road there if you're not moving your characters. Okay. And Mud and Jessica and Usama, where do you want to go? I can't hear you, Jess.
I feel confident I can get through the trees. I'm not.
Yeah, you can. You're not going to climb them. You're not going to climb the tree. This is just a forest.
Yeah.
You're going to go through the tree. Yeah. But you're moving slower because it's okay. So where do you want to go in the tree? Just ping me.
Okay. I believe I want to go this way.
Okay. So move your character there. Faye, you can follow her.
Yeah, I follow her.
Yeah, just follow her. As you get in there, you get why doesn't it? So I have one of those issues. I have to be logging in. So give me a second. Sorry, guys. Okay. So as you stand in there, in the trees, it's a little more elevated where the trees are. You have a little hill in there. So as you get in there, you could clearly see the shadow of an orc sitting by the river. So what do you want to do? You want to get closer, or do you want to stay there?
I'm gonna keep moving. I have to try to figure out where I'm gonna hit him from. So I'm gonna move. Sorry. Can I move over here? How long range is that?
The squares, they're the same size, right? The GM, they're the same distance, 2 meters per square.
Yeah, you're 24 meters if you go there.
Okay. I have a 30-meter range.
So do you want to go there?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go there, he can. What's that?
I'm sorry, I just moved over one. Sorry.
Okay, because if you were there, I'm gonna do a perception roll against you. Okay.
So hold on, I sneak to here and I whisper to you, Eiley, can we use a combination of Aya distracting him, you shooting him, and I'll try to finish him in close combat?
Jim, can I ask a question?
Sure.
If I send Aya to distract him, will I lose my ambush?
Is your ambush channeling? No, not ambush. Are you talking ambush or stealth? Are you asking about ambush or stealth? Which one?
If I shoot, and I roll 11 or more, it counts as a critical success.
It will break the ambush.
So I think for this guy, I'm gonna just try to hit him first. Is that okay with you?
I say, okay, let me first sneak.
Okay. Sorry, you said you're sneaking in behind him first.
Yes.
Okay.
Give me count to 30 in your head. I proceed to disappear and to move.
So you're gonna use your invisibility.
That's right, and move close to him, but like.
Yeah, move yourself.
Here.
All right, he's gonna make a perception roll when you're there. Please go ahead and make a stealth roll. How much did you roll?
I haven't rolled yet. That's my total.
What's your total? Tell me. I already told you.
23.
Okay, so you said 23. Gotcha. Thanks. And I'm doing this guy. Perception. Okay, so you get around there. He doesn't seem like he has spotted you. He's still looking at the little pond of water next to him.
Okay, and I unsheath my knife blade.
Okay, so you draw your knife blade. All right.
I am pulling up my arrow and I'm counting in my head and I go 29.
Which arrow?
30. Sturdy arrow. And 29, and I release at 30.
Okay, so are you making a normal attack, right? That's what you're doing?
Attack, yeah.
30 arrow. Okay, please go ahead and roll your attack, your ranged attack. And tell me.
35.
All right, so 35. As he is sitting there, you know, like he's growling a little bit. Yeah. How much damage does your sturdy arrow does?
It's 24 damage because I rolled an 11 or more, so it's a critical success.
Oh.
Wait, critical success is 20. Yep. I'm sorry, 24.
Okay, so he's sitting there and he's growling, and for a second he turns to look at this rock, and from behind you could see the arrow flying, hits his skull back from his head and come out of his head, of the front of his skull, and he falls to the ground. He's dead.
Nice. First headshot.
Where's my song? Where's my song?
There is no song. We took out the songs, or else YouTube is gonna kill us.
Copyright infringements.
Meanwhile, Faye standing there, she's like, "Well, fuck. Well, what the fuck?" You're muted, by the way.
Yeah. It's okay.
I'm sorry, Faye. I didn't mean to. Am I still
Wait, do you scream? Do you scream? I'm sorry, Faye. Do you
No.
scream? I'm sorry, Faye.
No,
I'm
I
just
didn't
checking.
I like to talk to myself.
All right, GM, I'll spend half a second, not half a second, I'll spend half a minute, 30 seconds searching him.
Okay, so he has an axe, that deals 10 damage. Other than that, he has, let's see, 5 gold pieces.
Okay. I'll take the 5 gold pieces, but I didn't find no keys, nothing special, right?
No.
Okay. All right. I come back.
Okay, so but you're still invisible, right?
I know. I touch Eileen on the shoulder and I say, "It's me. Don't freak out." And I whisper that, "It's me. Don't freak out."
I got your back, sister. Am I still camouflaged? Can you see me?
You're great. You're doing great, and you did really great. Let's go take care of the other guy.
Got it.
I'm going to do. Let's do the same thing. I'll sneak up behind him just in case your arrow is not enough.
All right, so we're gonna take a pause now, 5 to 15 minutes, and then you guys can do the next guy, okay? And then I'm gonna switch probably to Sol and Galen and see what they're doing. Like if they are playing tag or whatever.
Okay.
They're playing Beyblade.
Exactly.
See you in a bit.